Hardy dudes and dudettes, welcome back to Custom Black Motorsports, and if you're new here, welcome. All right, so lately I've been trying to develop an easy install, upgradable stereo system for the 5th gen Ram trucks with the basic setup. All right, and you have the ANC module under your seat. So what I've been trying to do is develop, more or less a plug and play system for those individuals that want to upgrade your stereo system yourself. All right, so I don't have every part number right now available. I'm going to do that. I want to do a whole lot more upgrades before I share every part number and share everything about this system. I want to share it with you so you guys can do it yourself at home, okay, at a really cheap cost. You know what I mean? It's super awesome, right? And then you can also simply remove this stereo system and bring it back to stock within 10 to 15 minutes. And that's a fact. I mean, well, it all depends on how fast you work, but for most people, I'm going to have to judge 10 to 15 minutes, you're back to stock. All right, so the first thing that you're going to have to do is run a power wire. That's the hardest thing you're going to have to do. I don't use a fuse, I use a breaker. Breaker's freaking awesome. All right, so the hardest thing that you're going to have to do on the stereo system, and I do have a playlist going, all right, to help you guys out. All right, so I'm making a playlist. The very next video is going to be all the parts, all right, and all the part numbers and exactly what you need to do. It's so easy, it's not even funny. All right, so the worst thing you got to do is run a power wire. All right, what size wire do you need? All right, what size amp do you have? It's very easy to see the recommendations for the amplifier that you're putting into the truck. Okay, so you're gonna go with that size power wire. All right, it's very easy to run it through the firewall. This is my daily driver, so it's pretty dirty, dog hair, I don't even care. All right, the reason why I wanted this stereo system is because I gotta be on the road a lot, and I just wanted a little bit of entertainment. All right, so what I did was, and it's very easy to just rip these right up. I'm gonna do it right here. Power wire goes underneath the carpet. It isn't anything special, all right, to run the wire. That's gonna be the hardest thing that you probably gotta do. I mean, unless building a harness is hard, but it's not that hard when it's right in front of you. You can do it on your kitchen table. Okay, so what I had done here is built a wire harness for the little ANC module here. Right now it's at stock. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pull this little piece out of here as if we were starting out. This is all I gotta do. After you build the harness, this is all you got to do. It's so simple. Okay, I pull that piece out. I have my ANC cancellation device. You see a bunch of stuff here because those wires now go to the amp and then back to the door speakers. Okay, so very easy. Stock to not. Okay, we plug that in. So simple. There's another one back here. This piece here, before we get to that, goes into your ANC module. Okay, let me do this without embarrassing myself. It should fit here. Can't really see underneath of there. Come on. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. You're right there, pal. That piece goes right here. How is this happening to me every time? Okay, it's plugged in. That goes into the ANC module there. Okay, there's another piece back here. All right, we're gonna pull out. Okay, pull it out of the ANC module. I got this little black cable here. It goes into a little harness that you can buy. Okay, so this plugs in here. Come on, I'm trying to do this one-handed, please forgive me. Okay, that plugs in. Now, if you look here, okay, they were just on, they're not. Okay, these right here are line out converters, all right, which also has remote amp turn on. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to shut a door, open a door and see if the lights come on. Yes, they did come on. All right, so when there's any type of electrical signal going through these, the amps turn on. Let's see if 1 amp is on. 1 amp is on. Very simple. I didn't have to do nothing crazy. I didn't have to go through the dash. I didn't have to go through the doors. I didn't have to find power. I didn't have to nothing. Okay, so we have a ground wire here. These go to the line out converters. I have 2 line out converters because I have front, back, left, right, and I like to utilize all of that, plus subwoofers, using a cheap ass box. The speakers that are in the box are not cheap. This system pounds. It flexes my doors, flexes my roof, flexes my windows. It's insane. I have 2, we'll go ahead and pull this out here in a minute, 2 Type R Alpine subwoofers. Type R2. So they're the latest version, and man, those things pound. Okay, so a lot of people are saying, hey, and it kind of tripped me out a little bit, but it is what it is. They're saying, hey, I didn't realize that the back seats come down. They do not. You got to do the rear seat mod conversion. Let me show you that here. Okay, let me show you that here. All right, so I had to cut these little pieces off of the seat after I've unbolted the seat and lifted it up. Okay, so you're gonna have to cut this off, or the seat won't want to come down when you do this. Right, and this is something this is not my idea. All right, I'm not claiming this whole stereo system deal is my idea, but not a lot of people are sharing this idea, and that's what I'm doing now. So you see here, cut, and if you're not careful, you don't round some things out, you can cut yourself. Okay, so I have 2 kicker amps here. This one's 660 watts. This one is 1200 watts. All right, and that's all ran off of that ANC setup. So I bought an active noise cancellation device, and from that device I had created a setup where I can run 2 amplifiers, the subwoofers, all the door speakers and the dash speakers are amplified. Okay, and these have high pass and low pass filters in each of them, and you can adjust them. It's really awesome. So let me try to bring this up. Let's look at the subwoofers. Okay, we got a down firing setup here. Let me go around so I can lift this seat real quick. All right, super simple setup. It's super crazy. So like if I wanted to bring this truck back to stock and sell it back to, you know, let's say the dealership, all I got to do is unplug a couple wire, you know, these deals here, and then plug it back in. Everything works as stock. Pull all your amps out, unscrew it. Now, this is something that you guys are going to have to do on your own. You're going to have to get made, you know, I made brackets that go under, you know, underneath this material here. All right, where I can mount the amps. That you know, might be a little difficult so for some people to get a hold of. Okay, so it's all right. Here, I did not just ground the wire out to the bolt. You do not want to pull this bolt out and just ground the wire. I did a lot of grinding where there's raw metal so that we get a true ground. Okay, let me move these things out of the way. A little bit of dirty. This is a daily driver for my kids. It's not my other truck. It's pushing 1,000 horsepower. Okay, I got a block of wood right here. This box was sitting a little too low to the floor, and these speakers were flexing too much, so I made a little innovations. Okay, so we got some Alpine Type 2 subwoofers here, pretty badass. Okay, they're about $450 each on Crutchfield. I got lucky and got them brand new for $200 each. Okay, because somebody was selling them on accident or on purpose, I don't know, for $200 each. But these things handle about 750 watts each, and they will bang out of your mind. All right, so yeah, let's get this going here. This box goes here. I didn't have to do any other seat modifications to add this box. All right, so I'm gonna adjust this later. All right, Alpine Type 2, some kicker amps. Yeah, the system bangs pretty hard. No issues with it so far, except for my nuts getting vibrated out of their gourd. Okay, so same thing here. But this ground is not just attached to the seat bolt. You can't do that. You're not going to get a good ground. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to do a little grinding, okay, if you wanted it bolted to the seat. Okay, for everything to work effectively. But if you needed to bring it back to stock, you know, trade it into the dealer or sell it to somebody else, they wouldn't even notice. That deal has happened. All right, dudes, I'm just trying to share a little bit right now what's going on. The next video, I'm gonna try to have full details, all the wiring that you're gonna need, every little modules that you're gonna need, okay? What's left, right, front, and back when it comes to the wiring on the speakers. All right, just gotta give me a little chance, but we're gonna make it happen. All right, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hot damn hell yeah, you're all the baddest. Get some.